Right. So previously we were discussing about al-ilm, al-isharat wal-bisharat wal-nadharat wal-hasanat. Right, we have covered that. So today that al-ulum al-nazariyah wa-tatbiqiyah wa-thaqafat وما يخص الإعجاز العلمي والمعارفة المتنوعة السلبية والإيجابية. So it's quite a mouthful. So basically, what is it about? It is about the knowledge, sciences that has to do with life, human life, that in one way or another, whether it is the natural sciences or the social sciences, right? Whether it and also technology, right? Culture and so on and so forth. So you can say these are things which are mostly product of human endeavor, right? And in which the Quran and Sunnah may have some allusions, indication of these things, right? So he says, وَيُطْلَقُ هَذَا التَّعْرِيفُ عَلَى مَجْمُوعِ الْعُلُومِ الْمَعْرُوفَةِ بِعُلُومِ الْآلَةِ. So this that definition, it is used, or it is refer to the group of sciences known as the ilmu alat, the technical ancillary sciences like language, right, cultural, social, humanistic or humanities. Likewise, theoretical and applied sciences, past, present, future, and whatever branches from them, right, from whatever it produces, right, inventions, right, discoveries, khadamat mutanawiyah, right, any kind of thing that serve mankind, various kinds of services, matters which serve the needs of mankind. Kazalika ulum tanjim, likewise, like astrology, right, sihr, and ilmu huruf, and ilmu of the palmistry, talasim, like those zimat, tangkal, and so on. So these are also under this category. So what is meant by the, because he uses the term maratib, levels of ilm, what is meant by that is the place of the knowledge, its position, its location with regards to the world, life in this world, and its position and its relation to akhirat. So how people use these things to serve the worldly needs and to serve their akhirat, right? How they results in their success in the next life or the opposite, right? So because these are, as you can see, you can use this kind of knowledge in the good way or in the bad way, right? So وَمَا يَتَرَتَّبُ عَلَى عَالِمِينَ, those who know these sciences, right? Those who are learn in it, right? How they use it to gain reward, or and out of fear for punishment of Allah. وتسخير الجهود العلمية في إيجابيات, and to subjugate this academic effort, right, in the positivities or the positive aspects in building and developing and giving benefit in a specific or in a general way, or using it to defend the truth amongst defend the truth of the divine truth amongst the servants of Allah, defend the truth with the weapons and wealth and means of technology that are of various types, using them in a humane way, conscious way, to serve life and mankind, right? In their economy, right? In their aspect of knowledge, in their aspect of education, medicine, manufacturing, peace, and in a way to serve peace, what do you call it? To serve the purpose of establishing peace and faith and other positive stances. So basically, he is looking at these sciences, these modern or these sciences in general, these subjects in general, as something that is neutral, right? That can be used in one way or another, right? Evil or good. And so this is the هذه هي نقطة التباين. This is the differentiating factor or the differentiating point between the scholars of religion, right? People who have belief in God, and those people who are not secular and the godless, right, group who exploit these subjects or this technology to bring about destruction and chaos. وَلِكُلٍّ وِجْهَةٌ هُوَ مُوَلِّيهَا. So each has their own direction, right, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has directed them, where they are, what they are using these subjects for. وَالْمُسْتَثْمِرُونَ لِأَطْرَافِ التَّبَايُنْ جِهَةً. And those who invest, right, there are people who invest in these things. So they invest in good, there are those who invest in evil, right? So there are two groups again. The first is the good one. Da'wah siratul mustaqim. So this is the divine da'wah, the exalted one. Ala al-sina al-anbiya wa rusul. They follow the way of the prophets and the messenger, and whoever connects with them from the ulama, as-salihin, and the followers among the believers, min ahli al-hasanah wal-adalah, from the people of hasanah and adalah, and whoever follows them in ihsan until yawmiddin, and their eventual abode is they will be attain safety in this world and the next. And the next one are those who invest, right, from the direction or from the group of shaitan. So, and whoever who has who follow shaitan, basically, right, whoever are affected and by the da'wah of shaitan, da'watihi as-salbiyah, then it's negative da'wah, that upon the way of the Dajajilah, the various representatives of Dajjal, right, his various minions, wal kuffar, disbelievers and their agents, al-abakir, min al-munafiqin wal murjifin. So these are, they have their own geniuses, people who serve them. Min al-munafiqin wal murjifin wal lazina fi qulubihim marad, among the hypocrites, right, who possess this diseased heart. Whoever follows them from those who are oblivious or ignorant people among some of the Muslims, whether they know it bi'ilmin wa idrakin wa tasyisin muta'ammadin. So there are some among the Muslim, right, who follow these people, right, as because of their, they know, right, they comprehend the politicization that is purposely done until yawmuddin. So these people, وَمَصِيرٌ مَنْ لَمْ يَتُبْ مِنْهُمْ, the eventual abode, the eventual, what will happen to them who do not repent, and those who Allah SWT did not save, they will be to Jahannam, and that is the worst of all the abodes. So this is basically how this, if you look at the Quran also, right, there are many verses that point towards the basis of this al-mustajaddat and how different groups, right, they are, they differ in their approach and differ in their application of these things. One leads to success in the hereafter, and the other leads to destruction. So one of the basis, right, of this ilmu mustajadat in the Quran is the verse in Al-Alaq. Of course, we have Iqra, the word Iqra bismi rabbika allazi khalaq. So the first group, the group who are saved, are those who read in the name of their Lord. They read the signs in the horizons and in themselves, and they read the cosmos. Basically, they study the world in a way that is linked to God, not in a secular positivist way, which is divested from any form of metaphysics or any form of belief in the right. But in the last century also, we have like this, what we call the Vienna Circle. The Vienna Circle and the Frankfurt Circle. So these two schools of philosophy, right? They have a big impact on how modern science evolved, how it adopted a purely empiricist and logical method that throws away any kind of metaphysics, any kind of ghaibiyat, and limit and narrow down science to just anything that can be empirically observed, right, and determined. And so these are the different kind of reading, right? It's not Iqra bismi rabb, it's Iqra in a way that is materialist purely, right? So we have other verses of the Quran, right, that indicates وَالَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْمُشْرِكُونَ. So the prophets, right, by their sending of by Allah SWT sending of the prophets, right, it is through this way that people read through the name of the Lord. So science in of itself, it is a common denominator in the sense that various civilizations engage in this pursuit. It is a common thing, meaning to say that they share in this pursuit. Ultimately, the purpose of it is to gain the knowledge of God, is to be close to God. It should be centered on God and lead a person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the ultimate goal. It is the pursuit of truth. And the truth is not purely what you can say modern science claims that it is purely objective, right? But truth is both objective and subjective. And they cannot deny it. Today we have, for example, if you look at modern quantum physics, quantum mechanics, right? It has they get a particular result from their experiments. How they interpret it, it depends on their worldview. It depends on their akidah, right? So people can come with different or choose different interpretation of a particular scientific phenomenon, right? Based on what they believe in. So same goes for things like evolution, theory of evolution, right? Some might interpret according to their view that, okay, if you are an atheist, right, they may try to interpret the results along the line of atheism. If you are a Muslim, you can interpret it, right, by saying that, okay, this evolution does not involve the Prophet Adam because he was not created. He was not a product of evolution. He did not have parents. So you can say that it is subjective and objective. Yeah, the akidah influences, right, a person's interpretation. So, and that part is usually people they don't understand, they don't detect the interpretation of the scientists, right? Which is the interpretation, which is the so-called the fact or the scientific finding. How to differentiate between that interpretation and the finding itself, the observation itself. So And then he goes on to say here, وتحت هذا الباب تأصيل خطير لا يدرك إلا بتعمق في آية الله وسنة رسول الله وطول النظر في المدلولات والمواقف الشرعية والمدلولات والمواقف الوضعية والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. So under this chapter, under this subject, there is a critical ta'silun. So it is, as we mentioned earlier, is rooted. Ta'sil is you root, or you find the root of this subject of mustajaddat. What is the root of it in the Quran? Right? Some people believe that Islam is jumud. Some of these, the thinkers, some of them even, they are Muslims. They emerged in the last century. Right? They think that the text of the Sharia, the text of the Quran and Sunnah is static. It is not dynamic. It is jumud in the sense that it cannot accommodate developments. Right? So this is because of the failure to recognize this aspect of the deen, which is the tahawulat. Right? And when you do not do that, you think you will resort to what Habib Abu Bakar says, is that these people, they resort to looking for solutions outside of the Islamic tradition. For example, they resort to communism in order to solve the problem of capitalism. So instead of looking into the Islamic tradition, finding solutions, they look outside, right, to solve problems. And in the end, it causes much more, doesn't bring them any solution for the problems. Okay. So the next part is Fiqh al-Ashrat al-Kawniyah wal-Malahib. So this is referring to, or refers to matters, right, which concerns the patterns, the signs, right, and the changes that flows or that happens in the life of the various communities, like those that have came in the Quran, Quranic verses, and the Sunnah, right, and upon the following manner. Al-Ashra. Ashra is plural for shirt. So in linguistic term, it refers to alamah, tanda, right? So this, if someone asks, like the Quranic basis of tahawulat, you can see all of them from the fiqh al-mustajaddat. You have the Quranic basis, right? From Ashrat also you have its Quranic basis. So all of this has their Quranic basis. Not only is it based on Hadith Jibril. So we do not say that tahawulat is purely based on Hadith Jibril. Hadith Jibril, basically, it is a tafsil. It is more of a tafsil of what is in the Quran. It gives you a detail of what is in the Quran. It details out the deen. The deen is summarized in the Quran, right? It does not, the Quran does not explicitly detail out the aspects of deen, the arkan of deen, right? But the Sunnah is the one that gives the tafsil. Like many other things, like we learn about Salat. When you learn about Salat, does the Quran give you the tafsil of the Salat? No. The Quran doesn't give you the details, how to pray, the various 5 prayers and their timings and so on and so forth. It does not spell it out in detail, but the Sunnah does it. So the Quran, by the very nature of it, it is mujmal, right? It is, we can say it is general, and so the detail comes in the Sunnah, right? So the Sunnah, Hadith Jibril, is the one that gives us the concept of fiqh tahawulat. And then we look at the Quran, we see that it is there also in its more general form, right? So these are all only through the scholars, the ulama, that we can extract these things, and they are the ones who put them into these categories. Right. So if anyone asks what is the basis of the fiqh tahawulat in the Quran, we say that it's all over the place, all over the Quran, right? From the concept of fiqh al-mustajadat, fiqh ashratul kawniyah. So these are all in the Quran. The Quran mentioned about the signs, right? For example, here it says ashrat, jam'u shurat, shurat lughatan alamah, wal alamah fi fiqh tahawulat hiya zawahir al-kawniyah al-jariyah bi amrillah. Wafqa ma akhbara anhu al-Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the ashrat are the alamah in fiqh tahawulat. It is a zawahir kawniyah. It is a cosmic manifestation or cosmic phenomena that al-jariyah, that happens by the will, by the command of Allah, according to what has been informed, right? What has according to what the Prophet ﷺ has informed regarding them from the various hadith, right? And they can be divided into several categories. The ashrat istibaqiyah, right? Those that have preceded, or those which are informed in advance. Here alamat kauniyah mukhalifa li mujrayatil qawanin tabi'ah. So they are generally they do not follow the natural laws, the sunnah. So they are phenomena that contradicts natural phenomena, natural laws. Right? For example, the rising of the sun from the west, the smoke, right? So this smoke is not a normal smoke, it's abnormal. If it's normal, then it is not considered a ashrat or shar. Warrih al-qabidah, the Prophet said, yab'athullaha min al-Yaman rihan layyinan. There will be a wind that will come from the Yaman, which will take the lives away of the believers. Wal khusufat al-thalatha, the three sinkholes. Wal narul hashirah, the fire that gathers people. So these are all, they are not normal fire, right? They are abnormal in their scale and appearance, how they manifest. Wal maskhi wal qazafi, as the masakh is these people, they become changed, transformed into animals. They are pelted, like some kind of pelting from the sky. وغيرها من الكوارث, and other forms of disasters, natural disasters. Al-ashrat al-istiqra'iyah. So these are those that have happened in the past nations, right? That has a relation to the alamat of Sa'ah. Like how the Quran expresses them in context of the people of Ad. فَلَمَّا رَأَوْهُ عَارِضًا مُسْتَقْبِلَ أَوْدِيَتِهِمْ قَالُوا هَذَا عَارِضٌ مُمْطِرُنَا بَلْ هُوَ مَا اسْتَعْجَلْتُمْ بِهِ رِيحٌ فِيهَا عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. So this is an istiqra, meaning it is already, these are things that has happened and also are included under the ashrat because of their nature as being not normal, right? They are considered a sign. Malahim, jam'ul malhamah. So malahim, the major battles, plural of malhamah, here al-hurub, at-tahinah, wars which are so severe in the sense that, right, people are so deeply, al-tahim, like their bodies are all like, in this, you can imagine this view of bodies being so deeply, like all of them like intermingling, in the sense that the army is so huge between two sides that all you see are the bodies. Right? Yakthuru qatlaha, resulting in mass death and mass casualties. So these are usually referred to for on battles between Muslims and the disbelievers. وَمِنْهَا هُرُوبُ الْفُتُحَاتِ. So the various conquests, right? التي خاضها المسلمون, which the Muslims are involved in with the Persians and the Romans in the era of the Khilafah, the rightly guided caliphs. وفي مرحلة الملك العدود as well, in the marhala of the Mulk al-Adud, first and second marhala, and whatever that occurs in the major wars between the Ottoman empires and other European countries, and whatever will come in the future, right? In the time of Sufyani, al-Mahdi, and al-Dajjal, and Isa alayhi salam. Wallahu alam bis-sawab. I think suffice with this for today. Barakallahu fikum for your participation. Do you have any questions? Okay, so subhanakallah bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Syukran Ustaz. Fi amanillah Ustaz.